Good morning from North Queensland, Australia. Welcome back to Automatic Mouth. I've been away for a little hot minute. I think the last episode that I recorded was early January, so it's been a hot minute. However, we're back with season 4, and I thought I'd open it up this season with speaking about a book that I read over that break. The book is called Ganbatte, which I really hope I'm saying correctly. I'm not butchering a language. If I am, I apologize. Ganbatte is the Japanese art of moving forward, and the author of that book is Albert Lieberman. So I read the book and I really loved the essence of Ganbatte and wanted to share it, I guess, as well by breaking down some principles of it as I understand it, and how it actually mixes in or meshes with what I've learned already in regards to NLP, psychology, philosophy, all those things. I thought, in the spirit of personal development and growth, let's learn how to take things from all different beliefs, understandings, values, ideas, thoughts, and blend until we can get an outcome that actually works for us. We're not all the same. We don't all fit in the same box. So there's no reason to believe that personal development is going to look the same for everyone. It's about finding out what works for you, and being an expert in you. So I got off track there a little bit, as per usual. Back to Ganbatte. So I'm going to do 10 episodes on this. And today's episode, I'm going to do them every Friday. Today's episode is about the spirit of Ganbatte. So as I said, Ganbatte itself is about the art of moving forward, and it applies, in everything, every part of your life. And we're going to break that down. Today is the spirit of Ganbatte, which basically, it's about keep going. No matter what, regardless of what obstacles or barriers you come across, what challenges you face, keep going. And rather than looking at it as do your best, because doing your best is something we've kind of been programmed that's the only thing that's going to get praised, is the best. And if we're actually honest with ourselves in this conversation, we're not always feeling our best. We don't always have our best to give. We do what we can with what we've got, And there's no point in doing what you can with what you've got, giving what you can in the moment, and then beating yourself up and saying, I could have done better. Well, if you could have, what's the reason you didn't, So let's start reframing from this, do your best, do what you can with what you've got in that moment. Walk away proud that I gave what I could in that moment with what I have in the tank, So in regards to the spirit of Ganbatte, I wrote down to myself when I was thinking this out and writing down some ideas and notes and my own thoughts about it, that the only time you lose, in all honesty, no matter what you're doing, lose at life, lose in a game, the only time you lose is when you quit due to your negative beliefs. Now, when I say quit, I'm not talking about where you walk away when you realize, whoa, hang on, nope, that doesn't align with me anymore, or nope, that's not for me. That's different. I'm talking about when you quit because of a negative self-belief, like, well, what's the point? I never win. I can't do that. That's too hard. The world's against me. It's a conspiracy. Those kinds of negative self-beliefs, When we quit because of those, that's when, I believe anyway, that's the only time we really lose. Every other time, if we keep going, regardless of the perceived barriers and challenges, when we keep going, we're winning. And isn't it funny that how often we allow setbacks to define who we are? We could, score 98% on an exam, and yet we want to know what's that 2%. And it can really mess with your head, thinking about, why didn't I get that? We become fixated on the part we didn't get. I love about Ganbatte is that, in the spirit of it, is you don't stop just because it's hard. To me, that's the real spirit, is even though it's hard, even though it's difficult, even though it's challenging, you keep going, you dig deeper. Because here's the rub. It's the effort that is the development, the personal development, the personal growth. It's growth. It's the effort you put in. It's not actually the outcome. And, when I look at that, I think about how we've created multiple generations now of people. And I think it comes from a real survival mentality, which was warranted ages ago. However, not so much now. We've created these generations where winning is the only thing that's celebrated. We only celebrate winning. And we even look down upon celebrating effort, don't we? Look at how much controversy can come about at schools when kids get participation ribbons. That can divide a room of parents. It's so divisive. What's the reason for that? Because we have generations, not just my age, my mum and dad, before them, multiple generations where the only thing that was celebrated was winning. So you can see the mentality that it breeds in people saying, well, why should I even try if I'm not going to win? Because we have learned that we're only going to get that positive reinforcement if we win. It doesn't matter the amount of effort we put in or how hard it was for us or what we overcame to even get, show up. We're only going to get the positive reinforcement for winning. And that also leads into, doesn't it, that duality of thinking. That again is generational. It's been around for so long that there is only win and lose. That's all there is. Everything in between it is basic, is mediocre, is not worth mentioning. I only came fourth in the race. Winning is all that matters. My husband and I joke about Talladega Nights. Yeah, what's that? If you ain't first, you're last. What that's saying is that all that matters is winning, is coming first, is being the best. And do you see how that sets up so many people for failure? That if you don't win, you're a loser. You've failed. You've lost. And what we're missing is that the effort is where the growth is. The effort is what builds grit, resilience, strength, belief. It's in the effort that we become a winner. That's where we learn what we're capable of, our potential. And that gives us, if we can acknowledge the effort, we're getting that positive reinforcement for every little step we take. We get the positive reinforcement. We build more belief in ourselves that we can do it. And so we get praised for it, even to ourselves. Every little step, the effort. We get praised, positive reinforcement. And then before you know it, we feel unstoppable. Because everything that we've said we've done, that we could do, we've achieved it. So we feel like a winner by the effort we put in. And that's the spirit of Ganbatte as well. It's that no matter what obstacle is in front of you, keep going, because in that effort is where you will recognize and build more potential for yourself. You'll believe in yourself. You will see what you're capable of. That's what really matters. And I've been working on this with my son as well. My son is 7, and I've been working on giving him that positive reinforcement for the effort that he's putting in. If I can see that he is giving what he can in the moment with what he's got, then damn yeah, I'm proud of that. I'm proud that he's showing up. And I think this has legs for a lot of different areas in life. As someone who has battled depression previously, being praised for actually getting up and getting dressed, that can seem like such a difficult thing for other people to understand. Well, what, do you want a medal just for getting up? We all have to get up. It's not about that. It's about the amount of effort that it took for you to do it. It's not about the outcome. The outcome is getting up and getting dressed. Great. Yes, most people have to do that. How much effort it takes someone to do that simple thing, that varies. That's where the difference is. And we need to be looking a lot more closely at ourselves and others and recognizing the amount of effort that goes into things for different people and honoring that in the spirit of Ganbatte. So I trust this was helpful. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Always happy to get some feedback and your thoughts on the subject. And next episode will be about Kaizen. So I look forward to that. Otherwise, have an amazing week. Please like and subscribe. It helps me when I can get more subscribers and get more traction on the channel. So I'd really appreciate that. Otherwise, yeah, as I said, have a great week and I'll catch you next Friday. Bye for now.